What is going on YouTube? It's the Sports Star back with another video on the channel, and today we are doing draft grades for all 32 teams. Going to go through this and react to the grades that the official NFL website did for all of the teams. So with the first pick or the first draft, one of the true winners of the draft, Arizona Cardinals, they ended up grabbing a ton of draft picks for the next few, or for next year at least. They have like 10 or 11 picks for next year. Plus, they brought in a whole bunch of great picks. For example, Paris Johnson. I wouldn't have traded up for him, but I like the pick overall for them. BJ Ojulari, great edge rusher at 41. Garrett Williams, DB. Uh, Kytrell Clark was an interesting pick, interesting steal, I should say, from Louisville in the pick 180. So I like that pick. Moving on to the Falcons, they get an A minus. They get Bijan. I'm kind of surprised they went with upside here. I understand the pick. I just don't understand why they ended up going with the pick. I would have. I don't like that pick. I would have gone edge. I would have gone defense, but honestly, Bijan, if you give Arthur Smith a running back, then that's going to be scary because you saw what he did in Tennessee with Derrick Henry. Obviously, Bijan probably going to be a top 5 running back first year, so we'll see. Baltimore, Zay Flowers, Trenton Simpson, and a bunch of others. I like the Voorhees pick. Obviously, he got hurt, so was projected to go second day 2 pretty much, but he falls 7th round because of that injury at the combine that he suffered. They saw something in him, and I understand why. It's a 7th round pick, so obviously most of these guys won't play. I think he will end up being one of the better picks for the 7th round. Moving on to the Bills, they get a draft grade of an A. They notable picks were Dalton Kincaid. 25th overall, I would have gone with Michael Mayer personally, but I think Dalton Kincaid is one of the better fits for the Bills. And they went Osiris Torrance with their 2nd round pick, and I think he is probably one of the better guards. If Skronsky is grade A, then Osiris Torrance is B, borderline C. But I think honestly that was a very good pick. Another notable pick was Justin Shorter, wide receiver, and yeah, Carolina Panthers get a B. Bryce Young. The only downside to Bryce Young is his size. Honestly, his size and his arm, but that can all be fixed. I like the Jonathan Mingo pick. It's obviously an upside pick. You're not taking him based on what he did last year, although last year he did put up some pretty good numbers. Overall, I think that's a fair grade for them. Bears, I they get an A minus. I'm not a huge fan of the Darnell Wright pick at all. I think Skronsky would have been the better. Skronsky would have been the better pick. Just from my opinion, put Skronsky at tackle, he should be fine. But Darnell Wright, they end up going with the pass blocker. So I mean that's fair. Bengals get an A minus. So Bengals, they get an A minus. Miles Murphy, pretty solid addition there. His draft stock fell pretty well. DJ Turner, decent pick there. All of these are pretty decent picks. None like stand out, to be honest, but I like all of these picks. Browns, they get a B. First pick they go with is Cedric Tillman. They address the wide receiver position. DeJuan Jones, obviously a pretty big steal in the 4th. They go quarterback, Doran Thompson Robinson. And I really like their last pick, which was Luke Weipler with pick 190. Cowboys get a B plus. I don't like Mozzie Smith, the pick. I like the Luke Shoemaker. I think that's a very, very, very good fit for them. That's just totally a Cowboys pick. Moving on to the Denver Broncos. They get a B. They get Marvin Mims. I don't understand why you go with Marvin Mims. You already have a Jerry Jeudy. It's pretty much Jerry Jeudy, but with a different name. Drew Sanders, really like that pick for them. Riley Moss, obviously very small draft, but I like the picks other than the first one. And then we get to the rough picks. Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Hamill go first round. All those are definitely C picks. But they liked him, so they took him. Sam Laporta. I like that pick. They kind of had a comeback in day two, sorta. They took Sam Laporta, then Brian Branch. Two very good players. Then they went Hendon Hooker. I don't see the fit there. Packers have a pretty good draft. They take Van Ness, 13th overall. Then pretty much all the rest are just meh. I mean, Musgrove. The Texans get B plus. They take C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, trade up for Will Anderson. Take Tank Dell. I like that pick. Xavier Hutchinson. They took a couple wide receivers. They took a quarterback. They took an edge. They took everything. So I like what they're building there. But we'll just see how they pans out. Colts get one of the better grades. They get A. I like the Josh Allen steal, Anthony Richardson upside. Obviously, the rest are pretty much all just trying to build up that offensive line and secondary. And yeah, I like that. I like these picks. All right, Jaguars. They get a B plus. They take Anton Harrison, take Bigsby. So they get a running back to sit behind. For like running back 2, Parker Washington. That was a notable contested catch wide receiver. And yeah, Chiefs get B plus. They take Felix Uzama, Rashee Rice. That's a very Chiefs pick in my opinion. Wanya Morris. And the rest are pretty much just depth. And yeah, Raiders, they get a B plus. They take Tyree Wilson, very big steal. Michael Mayer, really good steal, pretty big steal. And then Byron Young, I like that DT. Tucker, Cincinnati, 100th overall. I think I would have gone with someone else, but still. Yeah. Chargers, they take Quentin Johnson, Tua Tuipalatu, McFadden, Duggan basically backup. And yeah, I think this is a pretty decent grade. I'll give it a B minus as well. Rams, they go with guard with their first pick, Steve Avila, Byron Young, and Stetson Bennett was a pretty notable one. They went pretty early with Stetson Bennett too. They take punter Ethan Evans from some D2 school, but he's still pretty good. Has that upside. And yeah, I think that was a decent grade. Decent draft, I should say. Miami had 4 picks. Tried to make the best out of it, but probably couldn't. Second round pick, they take Cam Smith, and then Akani, Elijah Higgins, tight end, and Ryan Hayes. Decent draft, but I think I don't know, just not very many. Vikings, they go with Jordan Addison, and they go with Mekhi Blackman, and those are the 2 main picks. I think the rest are just void picks, and I like that draft. Patriots gets A minus. Gonzalez, notable pick. Keon White. The first 2 picks were very, very good. I really liked Keon White, and getting him in the second was a pretty big steal. Obviously, Christian Gonzalez, very big steal, falling to 17th overall. I'll give it a straight up A. Next pick. New Orleans. I'm gonna give them a B minus. I think Brian Breezy was a pretty good pick at number 29, but I think, and obviously A.T. Perry was a pretty big pick, but I don't think the guys in the middle were that big of a, I don't know how to explain it. I don't love the guys I got in day 2. Moving on. Giants, they get an A minus. Deontay Banks, John Michael Schmitz, Jalen Hyatt. I'd give this an A plus. Jets get a B. Joe Tippin, Will McDonald. They somehow get Zach Hunt in the with their last pick 220. I like that fit there, and kind of just got to build around for your future and for Aaron Rodgers. Philadelphia, they went pretty much all dog. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Tyler Snead. Ringo was a pretty big steal. McKee backup, but they already have Mariota, so I don't understand that pick. Draft why you need to draft a quarterback. Sidney Brown, Morano Ojamo. But honestly, I'm giving an A plus or A, just straight up A. Steelers go Broderick Jones, Joey Porter, Darnell Washington, big steal. I'd give this an A. I'll give this an A plus. 49ers go kicker second round, so is a pretty joke of a class. They're just picking up players for depth at that point. They also didn't have very many high picks, so that says something. Seahawks, A minus. Devon Witherspoon, like the first two picks, that's an A plus. Derek Hall and then Charbonnet. I'll give this an B plus. Buccaneers going to go. I'll give this an A minus. Clancy, pretty big reach. Coney, I like this pick. The value of the pick. Yaya Diaby, I think that was a pretty big reach. They go Trey Palmer. I like that pick as well. Titans going to go with straight up A. Peter Skronsky, like that pick. Tajay Spears, just Will Levis. That was a surprise, but I'm going to give that an A minus for just value. And Tajay Spears, one of the better running backs in the college football. Torn 2 ACLs, but I mean, just give Derrick Henry that third down back. Josh Wiley, huge steal. Jalen Duncan, huge steal. Colton Dowell, don't understand that pick at all, but that's just me. And with the last grade, we have the Commanders with a B. 4B's pretty good pick. Not too flashy not a too flashy of a pick, but I like that fit there. They go center. They go Chris Rodriguez Jr. running back, probably running back 3 to be honest, but that's just me. All right, that's it. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. If you are new, please consider subscribing. It means so much to us, and thank you all for watching. Peace out, everyone.